So today we're talking mental health and different ways that I use to cope with it, like using this little Calmigo device, or, going on a walk, or calling up a friend or family member who will listen, because
your mental health is the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jessica of the blog Miss More Style, and here on YouTube I make videos about fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and travel. So I would really encourage you, if you are really interested in living your best life, but on a budget, then hit that subscribe button, because that is what we are all about at this channel. Today I have kind of a different video from my normal, but let me know in the comments if you enjoy this video and if you want to see more like it. But I wanted to talk about mental health and how I manage my anxiety and take care of my mental health. I feel like mental health is such an important topic to talk about, and I'm a huge advocate for normalizing having discussions about it and just talking about it. It's not talked about enough, and I feel like it's definitely, we're getting to a better place where people are talking about it more, and that's great. But I want to be a part of the conversation and share some tips and tricks on how I have been managing my anxiety and stress. So I think we all know 2020 was a really hard year, and I just want to be completely real and honest with you guys when I tell you that I had a really hard 2020, and I know so many of you guys did too. I know many people were in the same boat as me, but I think I was already sort of going into this downward spiral even before the pandemic hit, and the pandemic just made it much, much worse. And I did not have any coping mechanisms for the things I was experiencing for a long time, because I just never really experienced anything like this before in my life. My main struggle is anxiety around my future and my life and financial things. I have a really hard time with comparing myself to other people. I'm really hard on myself, and nothing that I do is ever good enough, or I'm not like at the right place in my life that I'm supposed to be, where I thought I should be at my age. And the pandemic, because it really just shut down so much of my industry of blogging and all that type of stuff, it really freaked me out a lot. It really shattered my self-confidence, I think, when it comes down to it. I'm just now getting to a place where I'm coming out of that. I was in a really bad place for a lot of 2020. So I don't want to get too much into that dark, sad stuff. I just wanted to give some background to where I'm coming from with this video. Here are some coping mechanisms and things that I have found that help me when I'm dealing with anxiety, when I'm feeling stressed, overwhelmed, all of that stuff. And I hope it really helps you guys too. And make sure to comment down below and let me know what your strategies are when you deal with this. I would love that, and I'm sure everyone here watching that will appreciate your ways of dealing with stress too, and we all can sort of learn from each other. So getting into the first thing that I use to sort of help me cope or help me de-stress and get out of sort of an anxiety death spiral, as I like to call it, is this device, the Calmigo. And I just want to say quickly, this portion of this video is proudly sponsored by Calmigo, which is the first drug-free device that is used to provide calm in moments of stress or anxiety. And it can provide immediate calm in these times after just 3 minutes of use. What is this thing? You're probably wondering. It's just this really small little device. And basically how it works is it uses adaptive technology to help regulate your breathing, uses multisensory stimulation for grounding, and also incorporates a relaxing scent to just make the whole experience just really zen. So much of calming your body and your mind when you're having a moment of stress and anxiety is just as simple as going back to your breath and using breathing techniques to sort of calm your body down, get yourself out of that moment of panic. And this device essentially helps you do that. Here is the device. It's got this little silicone sleeve that goes over it to keep it clean and free of debris. And this is what it looks like. It's just pretty simple. You power it on, and it has the option to switch it on the vibration mode if you want to use that. But essentially what you do is you just start by exhaling really deeply into the device. So you put your mouth over the device and exhale very deeply, and then you inhale very deeply through your nose. And you just repeat that over and over for 3 minutes. It incorporates this little piece that goes over it. This is infused with a calming scent. Right now I have on the lavender one, but they also have ones that are peppermint or bergamot. These are just like really nice soothing scents that are known to be like a very like relaxing experience. Basically what happens is these 3 indicator lights will light up one after the other, and if you get to the 3rd one, then you know that you have exhaled deeply enough for that like really deep breathing exercise. And if you turn on the vibration mode, it will also do a little vibration to let you know that as well. It's such a simple device, but honestly, it really is so useful. If like when I'm having those moments where I'm kind of going in like a downward spiral and I'm overwhelmed, maybe I'm just feeling like anxiety about different aspects of my life, using this as a sort of tool, just 3 minutes in the moment, it helps so much to just calm myself down. And afterwards, I always feel so much more, just a little bit more at peace and able to sort of take on whatever it was that was causing that moment of anxiety and stress. It's also super useful for if you're having a hard time concentrating or staying on task, or let's say you're having a hard time quieting yourself down to allow yourself to fall asleep at night. I mean, come on, I know you guys have probably had this happen to you before where you like lay down to go to sleep, you're tired, but you can't fall asleep because you have all these thoughts racing through your head about like what you need to do the next day, financial stress, or having any sort of anxiety when you go to bed. It happens to me all the time, and it's so annoying. This can also help if you like have a hard time just bringing yourself down at night, calming your body down so that it can fall asleep easily. Also comes with this nice little drawstring pouch that you can store it in. That way, if you want to travel with it, or if you just want to keep it in your purse or your bag so it's always on you no matter where you are, this helps keep it, nice and clean in your bag. If you want to check out Calmigo, go down to my description box. I will have a link down there for you, as well as a discount code so you can save a little bit of money on your purchase. Next strategy that I have for dealing with anxiety: go outside and take a walk. This is something that I really learned during the pandemic, especially when the gyms were closed. I'm such like an active person, and I never really walk outside very much because before the pandemic, I would just go to the gym, do my workout, come home and work, and that would be it. But the pandemic kind of like forced me to get outside a lot. And like I said, I had a lot of really bad moments in 2020. And what I found was when I was having that moment, or I was feeling anxious, or I was one of those type of episodes, I would just be like, okay, I'm just going to put my sneakers on and I'm going to go on my walk through my neighborhood, put on some headphones, listen to, some music that makes me feel good, get some fresh air. And I don't know, it's just something about getting out of the house, getting fresh air, feeling the sun on your face, getting a change of scenery, like looking at the sky or the flowers or just appreciating nature. I don't know, something about it is just really calming and rejuvenating. And every time I do that, whenever I would come home from that little walk, it always helped me. It always made me feel like I was in such a better place than I was before I went on the walk. And I know sometimes when you're in that moment and you just are really struggling, the last thing you really want to do is go outside and walk around, right? Like for me, I kind of like, my instinct is to just sit there and like wallow in it and like just spiral more and more. But if you can just force yourself, just put your shoes on one at a time, take a couple steps out the door, and within like a couple minutes of just being on your walk, you will not regret it. It just makes such a difference. The next tip I have is to shut down your phone. For me, a lot of my anxiety about myself, my negative self-talk that I deal with, that I'm always trying to overcome, comes from being on social media. I think we all know by now, social media can be really fun, but it also can be kind of a toxic place. It's my job to be on social media for myself, for my own brand. I have other social media clients that I work on their social media, so I kind of have to live on it, unfortunately. And some days I just can't handle it. Like constantly comparing myself to people who are like my peers, who are other bloggers or influencers, and like imagining that I'm just like not even close to where they are, and why am I not, and why are they, getting this campaign and I didn't get it, and they got to go to this event and I didn't get to go. And it can create like a really terrible negative self-talk mindset for me. So when those days happen, right, shutting down the phone, because your mental health is more important sometimes than work. And that's something that I've had to realize. To take a social media break for a day, maybe a couple days, maybe for the weekend, maybe for a whole week, maybe for a month, whatever you need to do to like get your mind in a better place. Like detox from it, be grateful for the things that I have accomplished, things that I have done, because when I do remember that, it really gets me on a much better mindset for myself than comparing myself and beating myself up. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember, people are only gonna show you their highlight reel of their life on social media, and I know it because I do it. Everybody else is doing the same thing too, and you have to realize that you don't see the dark moments that these other people have. You don't see the struggles that other people have, and most certainly everyone else does go through these things too, but most people aren't going to show you that on their social media. We don't get to see that aspect of other people's life. We only see the good, the amazing things. So try to keep that in mind. I know it's really hard, but it is the truth. Meditation is my next strategy for calming myself when I'm in a place of anxiety, overwhelm, or stress. This is not something that I've done for a very long time. I've only started getting into it in the last year. I find it to be very useful. It's just like how I was talking about with the Calmigo device. It's the same concept with this, where you are doing a sort of breathing exercise and this is sort of leading you. Meditation is sort of similar to that, where you are really focusing on your breath. You are focusing your mind and trying to quiet your mind, quiet those thoughts. I know it's really, really hard, but sometimes it's good to just try to clear your mind, meditate, and just focusing on breathing. There's some great apps that can help you do this that actually would be a great complement if you choose to try the Calmigo. I know the Deepak digital app is so good. That's one that I've really loved. I love the 21 Days of Abundance thing that everyone was doing last summer with Deepak Chopra, and so I'm a huge fan of the app too. Also, the Calm app is a great app that can help you lead you on certain meditations for different circumstances or things that you want to focus on. Along with meditation, positive affirmations I feel like are so key, and they can sort of go along with meditation if you want to. But this is another thing that I never really was into until this past year. It's something that I have discovered, but repeating positive affirmations, especially when I'm having moments of anxiety around like my own like negative self-talk and inner monologue, great way to deal with that, because what you want to do essentially when you're having those moments of negative self-talk or anxiety is you want to shift your mindset away from that negative and you want to change your thought pattern to something positive. So instead of beating yourself up for, something that you think you've had a shortcoming of, shifting your mindset and focusing on what you do have, focusing on what you're grateful for, focusing on the things that you have accomplished, helps you get to a place where you can do positive affirmations about what you want and what you want from the universe. And this is something that has just definitely helped me. So having good positive affirmations are so key. Just having some like written down in my journal, or there's some Instagram accounts that I follow that post like really good ones every day. So finding those sources and just having those around to repeat and really focus on helps me so much. The next thing I will say is having a good morning routine. Starting your day off on the right foot is, I think, a very vital way to just avoid having these situations where you have anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. So when you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone right after you pry your eyeballs open, okay? I know I'm so guilty of this. The first thing that I want to do is get on my phone, get on all my social medias, look at my notifications. Did I get any new followers last night? Did I get any new this or that or the other thing? That is not going to start you on the right foot. The thing that I have found that helps me, and you have to find what works for you, but for me, I like to wake up, make myself some coffee. I like to put on a playlist that I have created that's called my Good Mood playlist, and I will link it down below for you guys if you want to check it out. It's on Spotify. It gets me sort of going for the day. I might read a book, be reading like a self-help book. Sometimes I'll do like a little bit of journaling. I'll do like a quick journal, like write down things that I'm thankful for. Just something that I'm thinking about, get something off my chest maybe, and that's always a great way to start the day. The next suggestion, take a break and do something that makes you feel fulfilled or happy. And that is just dependent on you. But for me, doing something that involves moving my body, either going skating, taking a dance class, or going on a hike, doing something artistic, like I love to paint, or practicing piano. Organizing is a big one. Organizing something that's been driving you crazy is a great way to sort of de-stress and just focus on like decluttering something, because then not only is it like a good focus, but also at the end of it, you have less clutter, and it also just makes you feel better afterwards. So finding things that help you feel like just rejuvenated after you do them is a great thing to do. Maybe take a break for 30 minutes to an hour to do that thing, or maybe you just need to take a mental health day if it's really that bad and you just need to shut down everything and spend time just focusing on that thing. My last tip is pretty obvious, but I feel like it has to be said, is to talk to someone. You know, I have a couple friends who are very close, dear friends of mine that I know I can call them at almost any time if I need to vent, or if I need to like talk to them about something, or like get something off my chest, or if I'm sad, like a negative self-talk spiral. And I know that they will always be there to listen. They will always give me some amazing perspective outside of my own like spiraling brain. It always just makes me feel so much better after I've just gotten it off my chest and just talked to somebody. Sometimes maybe a friend is not enough. Maybe you need actual professional help, and therapy is something that I have been wanting to do for a really long time. I honestly haven't done it yet. There's so many apps out there that I've been looking at that make it really easy too for you to talk to a therapist, even just by text or on your phone. Mental health is the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. The thing that I really hope you get out of this video is that no matter what, your mental health is so important, and you have to do whatever it takes to get yourself into a good place. Well, those are all of my tips for dealing with anxiety, stress, and overwhelm, and just having a better mental health state. Just want to thank Calmigo yet again for sponsoring this video. Again, make sure to check out the description box if you want to check out Calmigo and grab the discount code that I have in there for you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was like a little bit different, a little bit more like raw and real, but I think it needed to be said, and hopefully it helps you. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye.